Hi, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. Today is Thursday for me, so it's Thankful for Thursday. And I want to talk about a topic that is truly important to me that we can all be thankful for. Um, but I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel, share it with others. It's just a positive message that I have to share with the world because of my healing journey. So, on to the topic. I want to name some or talk about some things that I have done in my forgiveness journey. So I am thankful for the power of forgiveness. The power of forgiveness is incredible. And if we really knew the power of forgiveness, we would be more readily to do it to others. And we would hope others would do it for us in turn, because we're all just here making mistakes, trying to get home. But it's incredible, especially when you've had trauma and there's huge things and that, you know, it is important to forgive on all levels. Um, all levels. In fact, in the scriptures, we are commanded to forgive everyone. Forgive everyone. And, 70 times 7, and even more than that. That was just an example. But we are to forgive at all times because I know that God knows and knew. I mean, He's the same God yesterday, today, and forever. And He has known that the power that forgiveness has and the things that are cleared out of the way. And in fact, I have read several books and they've quoted somebody, and I can't remember who this is that quoted it. So I'm sorry, it's not my own saying, but I read it and every time it is so powerful anytime someone quotes this. But they said, when you forgive someone else, you set a prisoner free, later to find out that the prisoner that you set free was yourself. It is so important that you are able to forgive yourself, number one, and other people. But starting with yourself. Why would you start with yourself? Because it's important to start with yourself, because we're commanded to love God with all our heart, might, mind, and strength. And then we're commanded to love others as we love ourselves. You see, it's important to love ourselves before we can truly love others outside ourselves. So that's the same thing with forgiveness. It is so important. If we truly want to forgive other people, we have to be able to be willing to forgive ourselves. So I took a class. It was a weekend training of a class, and it talked about the power of forgiveness. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know right away I need to do this. So I wrote a forgiveness letter to myself. Now, how you start this forgiveness letter is on a little scratch sheet of paper or whatever. You just write bullet points of what you want to forgive yourself for over your whole lifetime. So you think about it, takes some thought. So this is a 3 to 4, maybe even longer. So give yourself some time. I tell people, okay, plan self some time, get a box of Kleenex, get some snacks, get a drink, and do it in an environment where you feel safe, you feel comfortable. It's just gonna be you alone in that room, writing this forgiveness letter to yourself. And then you're gonna think 5 to 11, no more than 12. 5 to 11. I would just stick to 11. 5 to 11, no more than that, because this is not a bash on you party whatsoever. It is not bashing on you. This is just stop at 11 if you have that many. If you only have 5, great. But come up with 5 to 11 things that you can forgive yourself over in your lifetime. And it's going to take a time for yourself. Let me tell you the power of doing that and what it did for me. Because before I had forgiven myself, I was always beating myself up. I had this dialogue in my mind that I'm just not a good wife, I'm not a good mom, and I'm just making mistakes all over the place. And I just had a lot of guilt and a lot of shame, and I was humiliated and had all these other, anger, depression, had all these other feelings attached. So I was just, before I did this forgiveness letter, and my first few adult children, actually, I think it was just 2 of my adult children had moved out and they were on their own. And I remember I would call this particular child because I felt like I was particularly hard on this child. And I said, I am so sorry. And I would bawl. And I'm like, I screwed up doing this. And I said this to you. And I did this to you. And this child of mine said, you did the best you knew how at the time. It's okay. Like, I forgive you. Like, no hard feelings. You just did the best you knew how at the time. And although it helped and it comforted me a little bit, I wasn't okay with it, and I was still upset and harrowed up in my past mistakes. And after I did this forgiveness letter, anytime I would talk to my son, this child, now you know it's a son. I have four of them, but um, anytime I would talk to him, the feelings of shame and guilt were gone. It was like, oh, I um I could look at my past self as if a third party looking in. It's like, oh, she just didn't have the tools she needed. She didn't have the tools she needed, and look at all that she's learned. Bless her heart. She truly did the best she knew how at the time. And that's what the power of that letter did. I was able to look at myself in a whole new light, and I didn't have any feelings of um, the negative emotions creep up and take over and make me feel like crap all over again. It's so, so healing. So let me go over some emotions that you get rid of. And these negative emotions, I hate to call them negative emotions because they are teaching emotions. We have these emotions for a reason. They're there to teach us. We don't have these emotions just the sake of having emotions. They're there for a reason and they need to be released, right? And so having these emotions and why am I feeling this way will lead us to who we need to forgive next after we forgive ourselves. But let me just name, I'm not even going to name half or even all the emotions that can be released, but I want you to imagine when you are forgiving yourself and when you are forgiving others outside yourself, you are freeing yourself. I want you to imagine right now, if you've never done a forgiveness letter for yourself or to others, I want you to imagine yourself being chained. You are chained, you're holding on to so much, and it's weighing you down in life. It's weighing you down in life. But when you do this forgiveness letter for yourself and others, it's like those shackles and the chains that are tied around you and holding you down, they're loosened. You're free. That prisoner that you have been holding prisoner to all these teaching emotions that aren't so great, but they're teaching you something. And when you forgive, it's like letting it go. It's it's like God's like, there, my child, that wasn't for you to carry. That's what my only begotten son was for, and he takes those. And it's like it's truly amazing to realize what the atonement is for you. But let me just name some emotions that frees the prisoner, that frees us from when we choose forgiveness. When forgiveness takes place, we are able to let go of feelings of abandonment, feelings of betrayal, feelings of love not being received, feelings of anxiety, feelings of depression, feelings of humiliation, feelings of sadness, feelings of hopelessness, helplessness, guilt, shame, overwhelm, having heartache, grief, feelings of worthlessness, and the feeling of being unsupported. These are just a few of them. These are just a few of the emotions that we're just able to let go. Let go and let God. That is one of my mottos, is let go and let God. When we forgive, I don't know how it works, but God does, and it's just this beautiful gift, and it's freeing. We are truly able to let go. So I did this forgiveness letter to myself several years ago, and I've been able to vocally say, "Oh, I forgive this person for this. I forgive this person for this." But I haven't done a forgiveness letter since, and because I've wanted to, my schedule's just been so hectic. But lately, God has given me the gift of time for more healing and helping myself in the healing journey and helping others in their healing journey. So I am so grateful that God has given me this time. But I finally did my second forgiveness letter yesterday, and it was beautiful. So after you do a forgiveness letter to yourself, you want to start with the next closest human being to you that you're interacting with. And usually that's a spouse or a significant other. And or if you're not married or have a significant other, then you start with a parent, your parents. Your parents. It is truly an incredible journey of what it does. So it's freeing. It's unbelievable. Like once you do it, because I was just reminded of it because I did it yesterday, And once you're done writing this letter, by the way, you don't want to hang on to it. You want to shred it. You want to burn it. Get rid of it. You don't need that negative energy hanging around. So you write this forgiveness letter. You get all that you can from your mind and your heart down onto paper. For you, it's going to take, when you're doing one for self, it's going to take a lot longer. It's going to take up space. It's really emotional, and you are going to sob and you are going to cry. And it's a healing tool. And with this, the second one that I did, it was only a page long. I was able to get, what have I truly been hurt from in this relationship? What truly has hurt me, hurt my feelings, and what do I need to forgive this person for? And I wrote them down, the bullet points, and then I was able to just write it out. And it was only a page long, and it was so freeing. And interacting with this person is like, the heaviness isn't there. It's just really hard to explain. It opens the door for a deeper love, and it's incredible. So if you want to go deeper in love with your relationships, try writing forgiveness letters. And these letters don't go to the person you write it to. It's just for you to get out of your mind and your heart onto paper, and then you shred it and you burn it. And once it's done, the power of healing has taken place. It's incredible. And so I just strongly urge you to practice the letters of forgiveness, and do it as you feel guided. Do it when you know that these emotions that are stored in you and you just need to let them go, and they're taking over your life and not being healthy. Oh my gosh, when we don't forgive other people, you guys, it causes health problems. It causes anger. It causes all these negative teaching emotions, and they can be teaching emotions if we allow them to be, or they could just stay stuck and harbor and have this ill feeling, and it in turn affects you spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. On a physical level, you will start having physical health problems because we're holding on to things that we just need to let go, learn to let go. And so it's incredible. The power of forgiveness is incredible. So start with yourself, then start with other people, and you will see how it just works when you put it to the test. Some people I've talked to, they've looked at me like, that sounds too easy to be true. That just, and so they put it off until I have heard people that are like, I tried it, and oh my gosh, it is. It's healing and it's freeing. And so don't knock it until you try it. Allow yourself some healing experiences. Start with yourself, and then start with others outside yourself, and you'll be amazed of the healing that takes place. I'm thankful for the power of forgiveness. And I just want you to know that God sees you, He hears you, and He loves you so much. And I love you too. Please tune in to tomorrow's video. No matter what day of the week it is, I like to talk about a specific topic each day of the week. Listen to it any day of the week because it applies to every day of our lives. We can't do everything of every day of our lives, but there are tools and techniques that we can do that will help us in our beautiful journey of life. So God bless you, and God bless yours in your healing journey, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you. Please like and subscribe and share this channel with others. God bless.